Portsmouth are back in the Championship, of course, but who will join them? Will it be Bolton? Will it be Derby, of course? Maybe even Peterborough? Goodness gracious me, still lots to be said over in League One, and we continue. And next... That's right, folks. Once again, on a predicted video today, we're taking a look at Matchday number 45, I believe, in League One, and we'll get to it in a second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe button. Your one-stop shop for League One is right here under one roofski. Of course, Portsmouth, they're done and dusted. Of course, going down, Carlisle are done and dusted, but still arguments to be said for the relegation spots, the automatic spots, and of course those playoff spots. Still lots to be said with just 2 games remaining. Who's going to take full advantage this week? We'll get into it, all of it in a second. Of course, big shout out to my ERPs. They are the patrons, you know who you are. And again, if you're new, where the hell have you been? Smash your subscribe button, smash your like, and of course, get in amongst it. Here we go. So here we are, recapping the results this past midweek. There was a cluster of games before we look forward to those penultimate games in the fixture list. So here we go then. Port Vale, Wickham, 2-1 win it was for Wickham. Of course, Port Vale are scrambling for points down the foot down one with a 1-0 win for Port Vale. Wrong I was. Meanwhile, Bolton and Shrewsbury out to a 2-2 draw. Missed opportunity for Bolton to close in on Derby. 2-0 winners in my eyes. Wrong. Meanwhile, Portsmouth 3-2 winners over Barnsley. 1-0 winners in my eyes. They're there. They're done and dusted. They'll be playing Championship football next season. Meanwhile, Oxford, they lost to Lincoln, of course, who continue to chip away at those playoff spots. 2-2 in my eyes. Peterborough with a 4-1 win over Fleetwood. 3-1 win for me. Cheltenham with a 2-1 win over Burton. I went with a 1-0 win. 8-2 shabby on that one. And then Bristol Rovers cheeked out a 1-0 win over Cambridge United. I went with a 2-1 win the other way. Now, this is the table as it stands. Pompey currently top the charts. They are done and dusted. I think they're champions, right? I think they're done and dusted. They are champions. Derby, for the most part of it, are 3 points clear over Bolton. Stronger goal difference, of course. So they need to chip away at that with 2 games left. Meanwhile, Peterborough, of course, also got an outside sniff getting into this as well. They've got a game in hand on the likes of Bolton. So we'll see how that pans out as well. With Barnsley, look settled for a playoff spot, but still not there yet, with Lincoln and Blackpool on the outside looking in. Of course, Stevenage cannot get there, I don't think. So really, it's 8th and 7th spot. Really going to give it their all in the last couple of games, of course. Going down, Carlisle are done. Fleetwood Town look like they're done. I'm just trying to do the math here, really. Yep, so they're really on fumes right now. Port Vale, Cheltenham, Burton still chipping away. Cambridge could get sucked into it. Technically, Shrewsbury could get sucked into it, but very much not likely. Anyway, those are, of course, the situations there. What about our own league? We'll have a little look at it. These are the guys that did well last week. Well done to Swindon Army, well done to Vinnie Hong, well done to JSPC FC, and well done to Ultra OM. All coming out of there with gold medal. Well done to you guys. Of course, what does that do to the overall table? Well, have a little look at it. Have a little look. It is, of course, JSPC FC 185 right now. Swindon Army 182. Of course, Frosty there, 178. Now, I'm going to be keeping an eye on you guys over these next couple of weeks. Make sure you get your picks in. Make sure you don't cheat to make sure that the real winner is declared champion at the end of it. So make sure you keep your predictions going. I'll keep it on the times. So get them in early. Get them in nice and early. Early, I said. Get them in early. Anyway, of course, let's get into the next round of games. We ain't wasting no more time. Lots to be said here. So here are those games. We're going to start with Oxford against Stevenage, of course. It could have been a bit of a bigger game, but Stevenage are done. They've even done so in regards to their manager. Steve Evans has now gone to Rotherham, hot off the press. Of course, now up against Oxford United, who are still well in the thick of things for those playoff spots. 17 times they have played each other since 2006. 7 wins for Oxford, 3 for Stevenage. 7 draws, of course, and the biggest win for Oxford. 6-2 win, scoring 29 goals in 17 matches, 1.71 goals a game as well. 2-1 win, the biggest for Stevenage. 16 goals scored by them as well over the course of the 17 matches, 0.94 goals a game on average. Just 1 win in the last 6 matches for Stevenage, 42% form for them right now. They are 9th, 67 points for the campaign against the Oxford United side. 75% form for them right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They are 6th, 73 points for the season as well. Last time around over at Oxford in the league, it was a 1-1 draw back in March 2016. 2016. That was in League 2. The reverse fixture at Stevenage was a 3-1 win for Oxford back in September. The odds for this one, though, 5-4 on is your Oxford, 13-5 is the draw, 7-2 is your Stevenage. Now, I may or may not have made this prediction with Steve Evans in mind, but regardless, it's a 2-1 win for Oxford United on this one. Meanwhile, kicking off forward is Northampton Town. They're up against it with Exeter City coming to town. This coming at you early, slight early game on Saturday, April the 20th. Now, these two sides played each other 17 times in 2012. 11 wins to Northampton, 3 for Exeter, 3 draws, of course. Northampton with a big 4-0 win, the biggest, scoring 30 goals in 17 matches, 1.76 goals a game on average. Exeter, 3-0 win, the biggest, scoring 14 goals in those 17 matches, 0.82 goals a game as well. Exeter unbeaten in the last 8 matches, 83% form for them over the last 6. They are 13th with 58 points for the season against the Northampton Town side, who are 11th, 59 points for the season on 50% form for them right now. 1-3, lost 3 last time around. Last time around, of course, over at Northampton, it was a 1-1 draw back in April 2022. The reverse fixture at Exeter was a 2-0 win for Northampton on the road. In fact, Northampton are unbeaten against Exeter over the last 6, picking up 5 wins and just the 1 draw. The odds for this one, we have 6-4 is your Northampton, 13-5 is the draw, 13-8 is your Exeter City, who are on form. Going to go with a 1-0 win for Exeter. A little bit too late to hit the form books because they ain't going to make the playoffs. None the same. Meanwhile, Cambridge, are they scrapping for their lives up against the Derby County side, who are battling for themselves to get into the top 2 or remain in the top 2. Played each other 3 times since 2022. Nothing for Cambridge, 2 for Derby, 1 draw, of course. They are the biggest win for Cambridge. There is none. There's no win. There's no goals. Derby, 2-0 win, their biggest, scoring 3 goals in those 3 games. It's a goal a game on average. Of course, Derby just 1 defeat in the last 6, 67% form for them right now. They are second, 86 points for the campaign against the Cambridge United side, 42% form for them without a win in the last 3. They are 19th, 46 points for the season. Last time around, though, over at Cambridge, it was a 2-0 win for Derby back in October 2022. Of course, the reverse fixture, a 0-0 draw at Pride Park back in September. The odds right here, right now, we're looking at Cambridge 90-4 for the victory, 3-1 is the draw, 7-4 on is your Derby here, who are favoured. I'm going to win this one in my eyes. 2-0 winners for them on the road, and maybe just about seal that second spot alongside Pompey. Meanwhile, Carlisle, they're up against Wickham, coming at you over at Carlisle. Now, these two sides, according to my eyes, have played each other around about 15 times in 2005. Got 3 wins for Carlisle, 5 for Wickham, 7 draws, of course. Now, the biggest win for Carlisle was a 2-1 win, scoring 19 goals in those 15 matches, 1.27 goals a game on average. Wickham, though, boasting a 2-0 win, scoring 23 goals in 15 matches, 1.53 goals a game as well. Wickham are on 50% form for them right now, 1-2 lost to and drawn to over the last 6, just 1 defeat in the last 5. They are 12th, 58 points for the season. Carlisle on 42% form for them right now, just 1 win in 4. They're 24th. They are down. They'll be playing League 2 football next season. Of course, a big win last time around for nobody. It was a 3-3 draw back in October 2017. That was in League 2. The reverse fixture at Wickham this campaign back in September, 2-0 win it was for Wickham. The odds right here, right now, we're looking at Carlisle for the victory here, 5-2 for the victory. Even Stevens is your Wickham, 13-5 is the draw. Wickham gonna lose this one. Carlisle got a bit between the teeth as the season comes to an end. Leyton Orient, they're up in action up against Fleetwood Town, who could be going down at the end of this game. Played each other 3 times in 2014. Nothing for the Orient, 2 for Fleetwood, 1 draw, of course. Now, the Orient yet to get a win, but they have scored 1 goal in those 3 games. That's 0.33 goals a game on average. Fleetwood, though, 1-0 win, their biggest, scoring 3 goals in those 3 games. That's a goal a game on average heading into this one. 25% form for Fleetwood right now, just 1 win in the last 6 games. They are 23rd, 37 points for the season against the Leyton Orient side, 10th for the table, 62 points for the campaign, and 42% form heading into this one. Last time around over at Brisbane Road, it was a 1-0 win for the Orient back in January 2015. That's back-to-back wins for Fleetwood, back-to-back clean sheets against the Orient as well. So looking forward, they do appear to like to play against the Orient. 21-20 is your Orient, 13-5 is your draw, 23-10 is your away win here. So it looks very much tight in the bookies on this one. It could be a draw. I think I've gone with a draw on this one. No, I've gone with an away win. Fleetwood need it most. That's right. 1-0 win. Scrappy dappy do time. Continuing their run against them on this one. Meanwhile, Blackpool up against Barnsley in the Battle of the Bees, in the Battle of playoff hunt, of course. Barnsley, I think they're pretty much there. Played each other 34 times since 2002. We've got 12 wins for Blackpool, 15 wins for Barnsley, 7 draws, of course. Another biggest win for Blackpool. 4-1 win, scoring 42 goals in those 34 matches, 1.24 goals a game as well. Barnsley, 3-0 win, the biggest, scoring 47 goals in those 34 matches, 1.38 goals a game as well. Barnsley's form is redonkulously bad at the moment, just 1 win in the last 6 games, 25% form for them right now. They're 5th in the table, 75 points for the season. It looks good for them that they're just in the playoffs, but right now they need some form because their playoffs are just around the corner. Blackpool, though, 58% form for them right now, winning 3 in the bounce. They are 8th, 70 points for the season. Can they squeak in there? We'll see about that, of course. Last time around, though, over at Oakwell, it was in the league. A 1-0 win for Blackpool back in September 2021. That was in the Championship. The reverse fixture, of course, over at Oakwell was a 1-0 win for Blackpool. That was back in September 2023. They also played each other at the EFL Trophy knockout stage this campaign back in December. It was a 2-1 win for Blackpool, who have won 4 in the bounce against Barnsley, conceding just the 1 goal over those last 4 games. The odds for this one, we have 21 to 20 is your hosts, 30 to 5 is your draw, 12 to 5 is your away win. Going to go with Blackpool again on this one. They need it more, 2-0 winners, and Barnsley have been shocking form, and they need to change it and fast. Burn now been also in a bit of wobbly form right now on the brink of relegation. That's right, up against the Reading side, who will be a force to be reckoned with next season. Played each other 6 times in 2009, 1 for Burton, 4 for Reading, 1 draw, of course. Now the biggest win for Burton was a 2-1 win. It's their only win, scoring 6 goals in those 6 games as a goal a game on average. Meanwhile, Reading, of course, 5-1 win, the biggest, scoring 16 goals in those 6 games, 2.67 goals a game on average. Reading just 1 defeat in the last 6, 67% form for them right now. They are 17th, 50 points for the campaign. Burton, 25% form for them right now, just 1 win in the last 6. They are 20th, 43 points for the season, and right now they're surviving, but on the skin of their teeth. Last time around, though, over at the Pirelli, it was a 3-1 win for Reading back in January 2018. The reverse fixture at the Matchday back in September was a 0-0 draw. The odds here, Pirelli-wise, 2-1 win for Burton, of course. 25 is your draw, 13 to 10 is your Reading here. Back in Reading here to get a draw, 0-0, point in the bag for Burton. Is it enough? We'll see about that shortly. Charlton Athletic up against Shrewsbury Town, coming at the Valley. Played each other 16 times in 2010, 7 wins for Charlton, 6 for Shrewsbury. 3 draws, of course. Now the biggest win for Charlton was a 6-0 win, scoring 27 goals in those 16 games, 1.69 goals a game on average. The Shrews, 2-0 win, the biggest, scoring 16 goals in those 16 games. It's a goal a game on average. And of course, they come into this without a win in the last 5 matches. 42% form for the Shrews, 80 for the table, 47 points for the campaign. Just about safe, I think. Charlton, 58% form for them right now. They are 16 for 52 points for the campaign. Just 1 win in the last 6 games. 5 draws out of the last 6. Goodness gracious me. Last time around at the Valley was that 6-0 win for Charlton back in April 2023. The reverse fixture, a 0-0 draw over at Shrewsbury. Charlton rocking a 4-game unbeaten run against the Shrewsbury, conceding 0 goals in those 4 games as well. The odds for this one, 6 to 5 on is your Charlton, 13 to 5 is your draw, 10 to 3 is the course your away win. Charlton to win this one for me. 2-0 winners over the Shrews, who might just need a little bit of extra life to get themselves confirmed, but depending on results, they might be safe already. Meanwhile, Bolton up against Port Vale. Of course, Port Vale also in trouble. Bolton need the results and fast. Played each other 19 times in 1994, 15 wins for Bolton, 1 win for Port Vale, 3 draws, of course. Now Bolton, 2-0 and the biggest, scoring 36 goals in those 19 games, 1.89 goals a game on average. Port Vale, 6-3 win, the biggest, scoring 18 goals in 19 matches, 0.95 goals a game on average as well. They're coming into this with, of course, a 25% form for them right now, winless in the last 5 matches. They are 22nd. They're going down, 40 points for the campaign against the Bolton side, who are 3rd, 83 points for the season. Back-to-back games, though, without a win. 58% form for them right now, however, unbeaten in the last 5 matches. Last time around, though, over at Bolton, it was a 2-1 win for Bolton back in February 2023. The reverse fixture at Vale Park was a 1-0 win for Bolton back in September. They also played each other in the EFL Trophy knockout stage. It was a 2-0 win for Bolton. That was back in December, who've won 3 in the bounce against Port Vale, unbeaten in the last 6, picking up 5 wins and a couple of draws to boot. The odds here, 9 to 4 on is your Port Vale. Sorry, 9 to 4 on is your Bolton. We've got to 10 to 3 is the draw, 7 to 1 is your Port Vale here. 3-0 winners for me. Bolton closing in on the big time. Meanwhile, Portsmouth up against Wigan, of course, over at Fratton Park. Will they be hungover? Will they really give a shit? I don't know. Played each other 18 times in 2005, 10 wins for Portsmouth, 6 wins for Wigan, 2 draws, of course. Now the biggest win for Pompey was a 4-0 win, scoring 24 goals in 18 matches, 1.33 goals a game on average. Wigan, 2-0 win, the biggest, scoring 16 goals in 18 matches, 0.89 goals a game as well. 58% form for Wigan right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6, however, 1 win in the last 5. 15th for the table, 56 points for the season against the Pompey side, who are top. They're going to remain top, 94 points for the campaign, 83% form for them right now, unbeaten in at least the last 6 games. Last time around at Fratton Park, it was a 3-2 win for Portsmouth back in around about this time last season, 26th of April 2022. The reverse fixture at the DW was a 2-1 win for Portsmouth, who've got back-to-back wins against Wigan. The odds here, 13 to 8 on is your Pompey, 3 to 1 is your draw, 70 to 4 is, of course, your Wigan here. Portsmouth will continue where they left off with another barnstorming display. 3-0 winners at Fratton Park for the home faithful. Meanwhile, ding-dong affair between Cheltenham and Lincoln, with both sides scrapping for their own agendas. Cheltenham, of course, down the foot. Lincoln trying to get into that top 6. Played to the 21 times to 204. 8 wins for Cheltenham, 6 wins for Lincoln. 7 draws, of course. 4-1 win, the biggest for Cheltenham. 22 goals scored in 21 matches. 1.05 goals a game on average. Lincoln, 3-0 with the biggest, scoring 21 goals in 21 matches. That's a goal a game on average. Just 1 win now in the last 3 for Lincoln. 75% form for them right now. 7th in the table, 71 points for the season. Cheltenham, 33% form for them right now. Just 1 win in 5. 21st at the table, 41 points for the campaign. I do believe they are going down at the moment. We'll see if they can get some points on this one. Last time around, over at Cheltenham, it was a 0-0 draw back in March 2023. The reverse fixture over at Lincoln back in September was a 2-0 win for Lincoln, who have got unbeaten run of 4 games against Cheltenham. Clean sheets in the last 4 as well. Looking at the odds here for this one, we're looking at Cheltenham 21-10 for the victory, 6-5 is your Lincoln, 13-5 of course is the draw here. It could be tighter than you think, but I'm going to go with a Lincoln 3-1 win here. Barnstorm will edge a little bit closer to those top 6. Can they do it? Can they bloody do it? Meanwhile, of course, Bristol's Rovers will host Peterborough, who still have a shot at automatics. Played each other 23 times, 2005. 4 was the Bristol Rovers, 13 wins for Peterborough. 6 draws, of course. Now the biggest win for the hosts. 1-0 win, scoring 26 goals in 23 matches, 1.13 goals a game on average. Peterborough, 4-1 win, the biggest, scoring 44 goals in 23 matches, 1.91 goals a game as well. The Posh, 67% form for them right now. Just 1 defeat in the last 5. 4th in the table, 80 points for the campaign. Bristol Rovers, back-to-back wins for them, 14 for the table, 57 points for the season. And of course, their season already over. Last time around, over at Bristol was a 1-0 win for the hosts back in November 2022. The reverse fixture at Peterborough was a 2-0 win for Peterborough back in September with a 2-0 win. The odds for this one then, Bristol Rovers are 50-4 for the victory, 3-1 is the draw, 20-13 on is your Peterborough, who have got a lot to be fighting for. Still going to go with them as well on this. Going to go with a cheeky 2-1 away win, which of course puts them in the mixer for the final couple of games for them. That's right. So if I'm right, which I bloody well hope so, this is what the table will look like. As you can see, Peterborough still have a couple of games in hand, potentially could challenge for that second spot, but probably need snookers with the amount of goal difference Derby County have, who look just about done and dusted with that goal swing at the moment. But you just don't know until it's done and dusted. Peterborough, though, will at least have a playoff spot on their hands, as will, according to this, Bolton will have as well. Oxford United and Barnsley look to have done it, but still life to be had in the likes of Lincoln and Blackpool coming into the final day. Going down there will be Carlisle, it'll be Port Vale, it'll be Fleetwood, of course, according to my eyes, and then Cheltenham just about down, but still have an extra game in hand, which of course could drag Burton right back in the thick of things, or even the likes of Cambridge, who also have a game in hand. But anyway, that's of course to be had another time. We'll talk all about that. It's still confusing. Every day is confusing with these guys. Until then, though, smash your like, smash your subscribe. Of course, we'll be back for that final game, as well as, of course, those playoff matches whenever they come around. But until then, see you soon. Smash your like, and of course, keep on predicting.